basically heading out to sea.
In high definition, this is Channel 4 News.
Well, that winter storm that we've been waiting for is finally here, and when it's all said and done, we could be sitting in up to 7 inches of snow. That's the most we've seen here in a really long time. Welcome to Channel 4 News at noon. The flakes started falling early this morning.
It certainly did. Now, we have not even seen the worst of it yet, and the roads are already treacherous with dozens of wrecks around the mid-state. We have live team coverage of the storm all around Nashville and in Clarksville this afternoon. We'll also update you on specific road problems and accidents around the city. And just a couple of minutes, as you can see, we have our crews already waiting there to bring you all the news. But let's get started right now with our Pinpoint Weather team.
That's right. Meteorologist Lisa Spencer and Nancy Van Camp are tracking that storm and have all the latest on those details. Man, it's a mess out there, huh?
It is. I just came back in from being off the road and slow going in many spots, and we have to be careful because it's not going to get any warmer for most locations, so it's just going to freeze.
And there's plenty of snow out there. Some areas already reporting 2.5 to 3 inches of snow. We're checking the latest on our Channel 4 Live Pinpoint Doppler radar. You can see a lot of white on this image. Let's go down in the southern section of Middle Tennessee. Columbia and Lewisburg getting some heavy snow right here where you see these areas of blue popping up. In Columbia, we have reports of 2.5 inches of snow, and already in Lewis County, we have reports of 3 inches of snow over in this direction. So this is going to affect our projections for totals as we go through time, and we're just going to have to kind of keep an eye on that this afternoon and see what the trend is going to be. The other sort of tricky thing going on here is that this area right here where you see the pink, that's indicating slightly warmer temperatures and mixed precipitation. If that should change to rain and slide up on into Lawrenceburg or Pulaski, well, then that would melt any snow that has fallen. So that southern area is a little bit tricky. Meanwhile, right here in the Nashville area, we're experiencing some snowfall still in the Franklin and Ashland City area, and coming up on into Davidson County, light snowfall right here, right now. Quickly moving throughout Middle Tennessee, kind of a counterclockwise, or I should say a clockwise radar tour. You can see these areas of blue are the areas of heaviest snowfall right now, and it's this Clarksville, Springfield area that's seeing some of the lightest activity at the moment. Latest for you regarding temperatures and projected storm totals.
Because really those temperatures, Nancy, as you well know, impact what we're going to see, whether it be freezing rain or snow. And initially we had thought that we might see a little more freezing rain to the south, but our temperatures are just as cold down there, so it's not going to be a factor. Where we really will probably have to make some adjustments is going to be to the southern projected snowfall totals. Near 3 inches right now, we may have to up those a little bit, and you can see all the way up to the north, we're looking for a little bit heavier amounts of snowfall right in through here around Portland. This is where we do expect to see some 7 to 8 inches of snow. And again, as the snow is continuing to come down, we may have to up these totals just a little bit, and we'll keep reevaluating that through the afternoon. Best advice, though, is if you can, be sure and stay at home. And we're actually going to have special coverage this afternoon at 4 o'clock, and that is going to be the time we typically see Oprah, but we're going to do a special winter storm coverage, but you don't have to worry about missing any of Oprah's birthday show because we will rerun that at 2:35, so you can put your recording devices in place to pick that up then. But from 4 until 5 o'clock, just before our 5 o'clock news, special winter storm coverage. Tom and Jennifer?
All right, thanks so much, Lisa. And we say this all the time. It starts to feel a little cliche, but if you don't have to get outside, you really shouldn't.
It's just accident after accident out there. In fact, some are fender benders, but some are much worse. Channel 4's Heather Jensen joins us now from Andrew Jackson Parkway at the scene of a serious crash. So, Heather, what can you tell us?
Unfortunately, this is an all too familiar scene all over town. We are at Andrew Jackson Parkway, close to the Old Hickory Boulevard intersection, and they have shut down a portion of this road because, as you just said, this is a major accident. Take a look at our video from earlier today. Basically, 2 SUVs collided. One SUV, the gold SUV, lost control, and another car came in behind it. Another SUV came in behind it and hit it. And again, there were 3 people in that gold SUV, all of them taken to the hospital, one in life-threatening condition. 2 people in the other vehicle were also hurt in this crash. Again, very serious. Have been out here since before 10 o'clock this morning. They expect to be out here probably for another hour or so taking care of this crash. And again, they're very serious all over town, officers all over town, crashes all over town. And
Looks like we're having some trouble. I don't know if the weather is affecting her live shot, but certainly we're getting some breakup there. But that accident.
The message, bears repeating. If you don't have to be out, don't drive on that stuff. And the accidents are happening all over the place. And this is just sort of the tip of the iceberg.
I drove by a couple on the way in, and of course we're keeping an eye on the roads all over Nashville.
We are indeed. In fact, we can tell you that Channel 4's Regina Mercouli is out with our chief photographer, Phil Dunaway, driving around the city to show us live what's happening this afternoon.
Doesn't look so bad where you guys are, Regina.
Well, we are on the 65 loop around the downtown Nashville area. We're actually just passing LP Field is where we are right now. So far on the loop, we haven't seen too many traffic accidents, even though we all know there are some going on out there. Now, 65, where we are now, is one of the first areas that TDOT crews hit with that brine, so it has been cleared off. But what you can see here, not too much traffic, of course, less traffic than usual on the interstate than we're used to on most days. Most of the cars that we've seen here on the interstate do have a blanket of snow around them. Some of the ones here are defrosted, but what you don't see is a lot of bridges that we've gone over on our drive are slightly frozen over, a little icy, but nothing too bad. And some of the parking lots that you'll see around town, the main problem there is a lot of slush. Other than that, the back roads we have seen, there's a little bit of iciness there, but mainly slush is the problem. Not too hazardous from what we've seen. It looks like we just patched someone who actually spun out right there on the side of the road. I don't believe you could see that in your shot, but there was a black car that just did that. So, of course, a lot of examples out here of how to drive slowly, safely. We've seen a couple people pulled over on the side of the road talking on their cell phones instead of continuing to drive if they're making those emergency calls. Other than that, no abandoned cars like the one we saw back in 2003. But of course, here you can see this Nissan in front of us. That's mainly what we're seeing as examples of snow-covered vehicles. People are taking snow off of their car, though, as much as possible. But we'll keep you posted throughout the day on the conditions out here. For now, we're live on the roadways of downtown Nashville. Regina Mercouli at Channel 4 News.
Regina, thanks. Now, we are tracking road conditions for you all afternoon and evening. It's dangerous right now. But if you have to get out, you can call 511 for road information in both Tennessee and Kentucky. We also have out-of-state numbers to check before you go. They are listed on your screen. We've also made it easier for you to check on roads online. Just log onto our website, WSMV.com.
And it looks like, judging from that live shot, a lot of people have decided to stay off the roads. But let's check in now with Jennifer Heron. She has a lot more on the worst areas, places you definitely want to avoid, right, Jennifer?
Yeah, I'll tell you one place to avoid, and that's Bradley Parkway up by the Opryland area. There have been several wrecks up that way so far. Now, out of town, south of us is where all the trouble is at this point. Downtown Columbia is very dangerous. They have one pileup after another, according to police. Saturn Parkway is getting very slick as well. The interstate at this point, not as bad. Now, 65 through Franklin, though, has been trouble heading south. Right after Cool Springs, all the way past Paytonsville Road. Just one wreck after another. Highway patrols all over the place. We also have a lot of highway patrol officers working wrecks out in Rutherford County today along 24. 24 has been really rough between Epps Mill Road and 64 in particular, both directions. In Dixon County, Highway 48 is the biggie for them. They say no wrecks on 40 so far, maybe a fender bender here or there, but Highway 48 heading north through Charlotte. They have a really serious one right now on top of several others back behind that. So please be careful and buckle up. And again, Bradley Parkway up by Opryland has been a big area for us, and Bell Road also by Percy Priest Dam.
All right. Thanks so much, Jennifer. We will avoid those areas.